Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Stone and Wood Post Show. What a day. A massive day. A record-breaking day in surfing history. There was an event that ran 27 heats in the past. Well, that record was shattered. 28 heats accomplished on opening day of the waiting period at the Western Australia Margaret River Pro. And we got to watch a lot of pro surfing, our favorite thing to do in the world. How good was that? Overlapping format delivering. The new format going straight into one-on-one heats allowed us to max out the day. Joe Turpel, Flick Palmatier, and Vaughn Blakey here for the Stone and Wood Post Show. It was hard to keep up with the drama of so many good waves and even so many giants even falling out of the mix, you know, like defending event champ Jordy going down to Liam O'Brien. There was just so many storylines, Flick. Now we get to kind of sit and digest it all.
Oh, today was a mammoth day. I mean, hats off to everyone in the broadcast truck, to all the crew, everyone involved in, you know, making the call, to the surfers, everyone, because it was a massive day. There was so much action, and looking forward to diving into it in this post show. I'm also looking forward to going to bed tonight, to be honest.
That's actually a good point. I mean, if we're watching that many waves, camera operators don't take a break, Vaughn.
They don't. No, not like me, Joe. I always had heaps of breaks. I mean, no, look, seriously, that was an amazing day. Full props to the WAS. Like, if you're going to have the best conditions on day one and you want the best surfers in the world taking full advantage of it, you put them out in overlapping heaps. And it wasn't really that hard to call this morning. Like, we had the sickest conditions. The surf was fully pumping. Like, it was going off. Everyone had, like, you know, eyes about that wide. They were just so stoked. And not one person was complaining. They were like, get me out there. I want a piece of this. So, huge day, but also a magic day. And, yeah, you'll always see a few upsets, but there was also a few trains getting back on the rails as well after some early exits at Bells.
Very true. And there's one man that hasn't lost a heat yet. As you reminded me before the post show, Vaughno, Miguel Pupo looking good in yellow, Jesse.
That is such a good point, Joe. Miggy, you haven't lost a heat this year. That is an incredible stat.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a tough heat. You know, Margs, he surfed so well, and the conditions were pretty hard too with the wind. But I've been carrying this momentum, you know. I wanted to keep going, keep the ball rolling, and I was lucky enough to find two waves under everyone's priority, and end up being my two best waves, and I'm in the next round. Yeah.
Miggy, I love you in yellow. I really do. You mentioned at Bells and obviously at Winky you had an incredible board. It helped you kind of skyrocket all the way to the win. Talk to me about your quiver here though at Margs. Though, is it that same kind of winning feeling?
I won't tell you much, but basically we got that board and we made the same board all the way to 6.2. So I have exact same board in 5.11, 6.0, 6.1, 6.2. So yeah, it's a perfect quiver and happy to be in the next one for sure.
That's all I need to know about the quiver. That's beautiful. And of course, every time I talk to you, it would be rude not to give a shout out to you girls back home.
Valeu, galera que tá dormindo. Eu não sei se tá todo mundo dormindo ou tá acordado, mas amo vocês. Até a próxima.
Thanks, Miggy. Thanks, guys.
The glow is real. Thank you, Jesse. Of that yellow jersey, he won Bells on his daughter's birthday, you know, and it's not like a celebratory, okay, I'm done. You could tell Adriano's keeping him focused. He's got the win, he's got the bell, but now he's got a world title to think about.
Oh, he looks good, and I think it's such, you're going to carry such confidence from the win at Bells. Obviously, working with Adriano, that those two are, you know, that relationship is flourishing. Here over in Margie's, Adriano's also won here, so you're going to be taking that confidence over to Main Break, and I mean the first heat's, you know, it's already the cab's off the rank, and you know he's got a heat win under his belt, so. Let's see what tomorrow morning potentially brings.
Vaughn, you brought Miguel Pupo up on stage last night in front of a packed house here in Margaret River. What was the reception like for Miguel Pupo?
Mate, it spoke to just how much Australians love good surfing. You know, he came over from Bells. He gets up in front of a real core crowd. You know, West Oz, they are a gritty, you know, they'll paddle out in anything. They respect good surfing, and he lit up the room. He got the respect that was due. But if you want to know how serious Adriano de Souza is, when Miguel agreed to come on our podcast, Adriano was like, be home at 7:30, bro. He was like, a cranky dad. He was like, no, if you're going to go out and you're going to have that energy and be in a pub environment or the hotel we were at, he was like, you got to be home you know, before the clock strikes midnight, because we don't want this run to turn into a pumpkin.
Miguel gives his girls a bedtime. He
Yeah,
hasn't had a bedtime in a long time.
Exactly, man.
Hey, no, well, it's working. It's
It was
working.
cool. It was really cool. But yeah, beautiful signs of respect and absolute celebration for a Bells winner. Everyone knows that Australians get in behind that.
Yeah, oh, how special that was. We kicked off this morning at 7:05. That was the women's opening round. Seems like a lifetime ago. And we had some big names, kind of some usual suspects take over, like Sally Fitzgibbons, Carissa Moore, Erin Brooks. All looked really spicy today for Fitzgibbons and Moore. You know, they're the legends of the sport already, past champs. For Erin Brooks, she was able to upset Steph Gilmore today.
Yeah, I think these early heats for the women, they were tricky, right? And it lended itself to experience for sure with Sally and Carissa. And yeah, you look to the conditions this morning. I mean, it was seriously big. There were some big sets coming through. We obviously saw that swell, you know, drop off a little bit throughout the day, but it wasn't easy. You know, we had Carissa in the booth here for a couple of heats to call, and you know, she was like, it's no joke. It humbles you so quickly, and yeah, just reminds you of who's boss. And yeah, she copped a big set on the head, and then little Erin Brooks, you know, warms my heart seeing a goofy
That
go
made
left,
you really
Joe.
happy, Flair.
Yeah, it warms my heart. But yeah, it was cool. You know, obviously this used to be the way to get it done here at Margaret River, you know, all those years ago. But yeah, she matched up against Steph, and it came down to a really tight decision in the end on Steph's last wave. And yeah, she didn't quite get the score, but it was friendly fire for Jake. You know, we can see him there debriefing with, you know, with Steph, and he kind of was like, oh, I thought you got it. And then, you know, Erin walks up the stairs and he's like, oh, well, good job. So, I mean, it's a bit of a funny situation, but yeah, look, you got to give it to Erin there. I think judges really appreciating, you know, just that speed she was holding through those big carving maneuvers.
Yeah, so it's kind of being a slow build-up on Steph's return, you know. I think the happy thing is she's going home to the Gold Coast coming up next. But the way she's been surfing, the way she's prepped for her comeback, you know, it's kind of left her scratching her head, especially when she felt she had the winning wave against Erin Brooks today.
Yeah, it was such a tricky one. I guess with like legends like Steph, with this accumulative year that we've got, you know, she's not going to be hitting any panic buttons yet. And I just wonder, you know, of the crew who are losing in consecutive events early, she's probably going to be the least affected by it. Like, a lot of other people are going to start putting pressure on themselves. Like, this is not how I saw my year going. For Steph, you know, 8 world titles in the back pocket, heading to my home break. It's like, yeah, I'll get started here. That's fine. That's fine with me.
Definitely a lot of great waves ahead for Steph Gilmore, and props to Erin Brooks for now going 2-0 against the all-time great 8-time world champ. More return talk with Gabriel Medina going into beast mode over at Winky Pop and getting a semifinal, and now he's got back-to-back wins over Alan Cleland Jr. from Bells and today at Main Break.
Yeah, and look, Winky to Main Break, you know, they're really contrasting waves. I mean, he looked deadly at Winky, and he's just brought that sting straight here to Main Break. He's just so powerful, right? I mean, you look at that wave there, that wasn't an easy wave to read, a little bit more ugly. By the time he surfed, you know, that onshore wind had puffed up, you know, creating a bit more texture on the face, but it's no match for the power of Gabe.
No disrespect to Al Cleland, because this guy rips, but Gabe never got out of second gear in that heat. He was just busy. He was just surfing a lot of waves, and any wave that comes his way, he can basically get a 7 on it with, you know, almost like a subpar effort. I spoke to him, he said, like, yeah, man, I'm just loving life. Like, it's so simple. But I also said to him, you know, are you back? Are you feeling that engine humming? And he's just like, sort of a wry smile and happy with his surfing and not giving too much away. But we saw it at Bells, mate. It's fully on, and he seems to me, Joe, like he's in a bit of a sanctuary here. Like, you used to hear Kelly talk about, like, this is where he can just sort of have his own space and not have too much attention, and he can just settle in and do what he does best.
You know what? That conversation you had with him, I want to hear it. This is that conversation Vaughn had with Medina today.
Well, Gabriel, it didn't take long for you to fall back into rhythm with competing, mate. You know, at Bells, the first heat was a little sleepy, and then all of a sudden you caught fire all the way through that vent. It actually took a miracle to stop you. And out here, it sort of feels like first heat, just keeping it in a low gear, and maybe best is yet to come.
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard to surf out there. The wind came up, and yeah, it's kind of hard to find the rhythm. But yeah, I'm happy with the win. Alan is always a hard competitor. We never know what he can do, you know, like sometimes he brings a surprise. So I'm happy with the win. And yeah, next round, hopefully we get cleaner conditions. This morning was amazing. I was watching the girls, and the first few heats was really good. And yeah, hopefully some better conditions.
Mate, how are you feeling about, you know, your return to pro surfing? Do you feel like kind of what I was talking about just a second ago, where it just clicked and you were like, okay, sweet, I know this feeling, I know what this is all about? Do you feel like you're back to your best?
Yeah, I feel like I'm back, you know. I mean, I've been doing this for the last, 15 years. And I love this feeling, you know, of competition. And of course, I have great people on my side, you know, like Adriano put me in the ground stage because he's been there, you know, like, and we talk a lot. And I came with, like, not expecting big things. I just wanted to get in the ribbon, you know. So I took, like, step by step. I feel like I'm on the way, you know, like, feel like I'm warming up. And these events are really hard for me going on my backhand. I feel like Bells, Margaret, and Gold Coast. But yeah, life surprised me, you know, with the third. I mean, I take it. And there's a few good events that I'm thinking of, and I'm really excited for this year. So yeah, it just feels good to be motivated, you know. I'm happy with my surfing, and I've been trying boards, so that's really fun. And yeah, I've been enjoying my life.
It sure looks like it. Let's not look ahead to the events that are coming. Let's look at the next heat that's coming. It's Jack Robinson. You guys are 3 apiece, head to head. We know that the best surfers bring out your best. You must be really excited for that one.
Yeah, always. Jack is amazing. He's so smart, and he surfs really well this wave. And yeah, another big heat. And I don't know how I will go step by step, you know. Hopefully we get good waves, and we can put a great show to you guys.
Awesome, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's go.
Let's go. What a great chat. I just had to hear the whole thing. You know, you're breaking it down for us, but that was the energy. He was very calm. Like you mentioned, he's like in this, he's back home on tour. This is where he feels comfortable. This is where he sets new goals. But what do you think about the matchup that you brought up? I mean, Jack Robinson taking on Gabriel Medina, starting with you, Flick. What's in that matchup?
Oh, I feel like it's going to live up to the expectations. I feel two absolute powerhouses, and Gabe touched on it. Jack's so smart, but on the other hand, so is Gabe, right? They're absolute competitors. They will never say die. They're going to cross every T, dot every I, leave no stone unturned. And I think, you know, if the swell forecast keeps delivering with size, I think we're going to see fireworks.
Yeah, looking forward to it. What about you, Vaughn?
Oh, man, light the fuse. I'm ready to watch fireworks. I love fireworks. That's going to be a proper New Year's Eve show. Let's go.
Game on. Well, as we know, Jack Robinson really took advantage of the off-season to have the surgery on his knee, and we got a behind-the-scenes look at what he went through. And it's all over. Jack Robinson, the rookie from WA, has just won his first championship tour event.
Jack Robinson has the highest event winning percentage on the championship tour.
Jack Robinson has won the Margaret River Pro.
An impressive 9 victories in his first 5 years on the CT.
Robinson at the buzzer has gone back-to-back with his victories.
That's a higher win rate than Italo, Toledo, or Gabriel Medina.
Get ready to ring it. Your 2025 Rip Curl Pro Bounce Beach champion, Jack Robinson.
Jack's strength is his athletic fitness, mental focus, and raw talent.
Here comes Robinson, laying down that rail, hangs onto it, transitions in the barrel. Jack Robinson punches free. Back into the pit one more time.
Oh my God.
His weakness has been a lingering knee injury he suffered back in 2023.
This is post-heat with Jack walking back up the beach. It looked like he's saying that he, tweaked his knee just a little bit. He really forced that last, layback hack to try to get that score that he needed.
This offseason, Jack went under the knife to make a full physical reset.
Things don't come easy, and that injury taught me a lot now. So there's just so many things that happen along the way. I've had a baby since then. I had everything. I found out my wife was pregnant that week, and I got injured. And then 2.5 years, I managed the injury, kept going, and now here we are.
You doing all right there?
Yeah, good. Just making little adjustments, and in one word, I just say like tunnel vision. So yeah, just like focused on the road ahead, and going over the bumps to get there.
Come on, up. Push. Come on, push. Come on. Last one, push. Come on, push. And pull. Nice.
It was a meniscal root repair, so it's kind of an odd injury. It's not like an ACL or anything, but it's just niggly.
Come on, up. Push. There. Good? Yeah, good.
I know I've got way more.
70 degrees on the
I was just holding back a little bit. This time I was like, oh, imagine myself at 100%. But I didn't have to be 100% to win too, that's the thing. That's the one thing I got to remember as well. Maybe that's what the learning is too, I wasn't 100%, I was still winning events, so. And these things like titles and events, it's all kind of highlights and journeys along the way. I think it's just unblocking my mind and pushing past the limits,
I saw, I conquered. Look at this backcourt right for Jack Robinson. Go! Bravo! All the magic in the barrel. Get Jack Robinson. What you made of?
Let's hear it for the two-time champion, Australia's Jack Robinson. Jack averages 1 win every 5.55 events, and he maintained that surfing through 2 years of injury. This year, Jack is back to 100%, and combined with the highest win rate on tour, that makes Jack Robinson the odds favorite to win the cumulative world title in 2026.
Jack Robinson working so hard in the offseason so he could be at 100% and going right into a heat with Gabriel Medina. Vaughn, like you told Gabe, it's 3 wins apiece. There's been some emotional ones. Jack getting him at G-Land, but the crucial one at Tahiti for a spot in the Final 5. There's so much in that one coming here to Main Break. Looking forward to that maybe as early as tomorrow. But one of the big moments we had today, the Boost Mobile heat of the day, was a wild one with the reigning world champ Iago Dora taking on the wild card local boy from WA, Jacob Wilcox. This was always going to be a big heat flick.
Oh, this was always going to be massive. Obviously, the reigning world champ, Iago, does not want to go down to a wild card here, Jacob Wilcox. But Jacob, on the other hand, he's been dealt some tough blows recently. I mean, he missed out on qualification, and that was really tough pill to swallow. He's had injuries, so he wants this just equally, probably as much. And, I think that's, why we saw fireworks in this moment.
That was the moment there. Iago was expecting an interference called. 2 judges called it interference. 3 said no call. So it was clean, but Iago still had his hands up. Jacob, transition, went back to business.
Mate, the problem with that exchange was play the whistle. They both thought it was an interference. That's why Jacob was getting so upset. He was like, oh my goodness, is that how you want to win? You sold me out. And Iago was going, what are you talking about? Like, you got in my way. So they both thought it was an interference. It didn't come through as an interference. And that's why it just kept on kept going. Like, it came up the stairs. They were still going like, what's going on? So Iago got halfway through that heat, found out that he was needing scores because Jacob had a score. And basically, at the end of the day, what happened was both guys were full of adrenaline, both really passionate, both wanted to win. And when you listen to Iago in the post-heat interview, it starts to simmer down a little bit. He's starting to go, okay, well, we're just in the heat of combat. This is what happens.
Yeah, and he broke it all down with you when you chatted with him on the glass. Let's listen in once again.
Mate, pretty impressive that you can use that much adrenaline and still keep your focus on what you need to do, especially in light of the fact that it was quite clear your body language was telling us up in the booth that it was a very hard thing to let go of.
Yeah, exactly. I was really confused. Like I said, I couldn't fathom the fact that was an interference, and at that point I had more than 10 points, and I kind of stopped surfing because I was, it's a shame, like still like more than 20 minutes to go, and we're not really gonna have a heat to surf, but then they kept scoring and kept calling the heat the same, and I was really surprised, but I just, okay, I guess I'm gonna make some waves, and hopefully I'm glad he didn't turn the heat on that last wave, because that would be maybe even bigger of a situation if he actually won the heat, and with that situation happening in the beginning. But yeah, it's good to win in anyways, you know.
Yago Dora adjusting and then moving on, taking the win into the next round. And we know we had a huge day today. Surfline hooked us up early, knowing we'd have to really maximize the day. Historic run. We accomplished 28 heats in one day for the first time. But how are we looking, Flick, the next couple of days?
Look, the next couple of days, we're going to have surf. The thing is, we had a massive day today, which was epic. Absolutely made the most of it. Carpe diem'd the situation. However, tomorrow we might have a small window where the winds are potentially in our favour. But then we're going to be plagued by a bit of a storm, some thunder, some lightning. And look, it's worth it. You got to come down and have a look, because, you know, potentially, let's just have a look here. The next 4 days, right? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Tomorrow morning, 5 to 7 foot, but look, onshore, but light onshore in the morning, so we might have a chance to potentially run some heats in the afternoon. You know, it all goes downhill. The big thunderstorm rolls through. Saturday, again, potential in the afternoon, and then Sunday does look like quite a good day. So if Friday and Saturday go our way, and we do end up getting a couple of heats done on a few heats done on both of those days, it could be setting up for, you know, potentially a good day on Sunday.
Wake up and check it. We'll see what we got in the morning. A lot of different colors on those maps. What brings up the Hydrolite heat to watch. Round 2, heat 5, rematch from what we saw at Winky Pop last event. Reigning world champ taking on the Aussie vet, Sally Fitzgibbons.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one for Aussies, because, you know, in this country, we love both these women so much. We've got Sally Fitzgibbons, her nickname's Our Sal, because, you know, we all feel like we have a little bit of Sally Fitzgibbons with us whenever we go surfing. Molly Picklum, of course, gave us those cherished memories from last year as the world champ. But more importantly, both women have found form, so that's going to be a clash of the Titans.
Then flipping it to the men's side, oh, what do we have here? Hydrolite heat to watch. Crosby Colapinto against his big bro, Griff.
This is so cool. We've seen this play out a couple of times. I think, you know, once at Winky, and it was kind of smaller waves, and, you know, they didn't get the opportunities maybe that they wanted. I mean, look, one thing I'll say is they are going to get opportunity. There's plenty of swell. But this is going to be a clash, right? Anytime brothers are going at each other, I mean, I feel like they're going to give it to each other. They're going to bring out the best of each other. And, you know, they actually had a heat where they were in some time today where they were in the water together, but in opposing heats, just with the overlapping, it worked out that way. And then was it Crosby that was saying, you know, or Griff said to Crosby, hey, look, you know, that was it alchemy word or the alchemist word? And then he brought him back to center, right? So that must be their little mantra. And I wonder how many of those words will be getting thrown around in the heat, you know.
It's a really good book, The Alchemist.
Yeah.
It's a good one to reread. The Colapinto brothers are reading a lot. That was when they had a heat together, and it was overlapping. But now they're going to be fighting for the same thing. It's going to be blow for blow. Really looking forward to that fun.
Yeah, well, I think maybe the Alchemist will be replaced by the Art of War. We'll see how we go.
100%. Well, let's kind of bring up the BioGland Daily Dose and relive that feeling. With number 5 on the list is that moment with Colapinto class. Cross 7-5 in his heat win. Griff in the water at the same time. In the other heat, got a 7-1-0. Both the bros look sharp on.
Yeah, Griff started the year beautifully. You know, he's sitting at 3rd in the world at the moment, but Crosby had an early round exit at Bells and really needed some counsel through that moment, and he got it done, but he's building beautifully, isn't he? Like, he looks like a guy who has surfed himself back into rhythm, and he's going to need it, because Big Bro is really finding some nice lines out here, continuing that form, throwing in a bit of flair. And, you know, this is the start that we expected from Griff last year. It didn't pan out that way, but this year he's, you know, firmly got that world title in his sights.
They share the same coach, they share the same parents. That's going to be a fun one. Number 4 on the BioGlad Daily Dose was when George Pitar went excellent, flipped the heat on Felipe Toledo.
This was such a sick heat because it was such a battle. It was seesawing between Felipe had the win, George had the win, and they were both doing such good surfing. And, you know, it sucks for Felipe because he's going home and he was doing such good surfing. But on the other hand, George, you know, this is a big moment for him in his career.
100%. Number 3 on the BioGlad Daily Dose. Liam O'Brien takes down the defending event champ Jordy Smith.
Liam surfed twice today. That's a lot of energy to deal with, but it did not stop him one bit. He just kept throwing himself into the lip here, and best of all, you know, he put the fire to Jordy with fire. Lots of power through the lip.
Number 2 comes in with Kanoa Igarashi. Excellence again, 8.5, turns in the highest wave of the day.
Yeah, this is cool. So obviously the 5th place at Bells, you're continuing on with that momentum. I mean, just crisp rail surfing, and anytime you go on excellent and it's all on the rail, it's just a really beautiful thing to watch. It's not in the air, it's not a tube, and it's real power surfing. So yeah, Kanoa did well there.
And winning the BioGlad Daily Dose, young Sammy Pupo flaring up today. 15.5 combined total, best that we had on opening day.
Yeah, he dead set looked like he had lightning coming off his rails in this heat. It just, everything was done at high speed, everything was done at full ball, and the board reacted to whatever he dreamed up of doing, and it was just a really magic performance from a guy who, you know, has come back from the Challenge Series and has work to do, and he's definitely feeding off what his older brother is doing, Miguel. He said as much when we spoke to him, but what a solid performance there from Sammy.
So what a brilliant performance from Sammy Pupo. Matty Myers doing a great job as he's on the CT for the first time. Done a lot of great work with Samuka. But those top 2 on the BioGlad Daily Dose, those guys are matched up now. Kanoa Igarashi versus Sammy Pupo. Potentially tomorrow morning. Flick, final thoughts? Just with your gut instincts being a local, we might run some heats tomorrow? Is it going to be worth checking?
It's the wakeupandcheckit.com at the moment because it's so hard to forecast it when there's this storm front that's potential lightning and thunder, and you don't know how quickly it's going to come in. You have to come down, you have to have a look, because the rest of the period of this contest, you know, there's a lot of storms stacked up one against another. So you got to come down and check it.
Yeah, well, let's just wake up. We're nice and early, Vaughn. Great job today, by the way.
Thank you, Joe. Likewise. Enjoyed the call. I have you guys in my ear, keeping me company all day long. Absolutely love it.
Great job to our whole crew here at Margaret River. Thanks for watching. We are going to close out a historic day for pro surfing. 28 heats accomplished for the first time ever. We're going to come back tomorrow morning at 6:50 a.m. local time for the next call. Have a good night.
An amazing.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.